forgetful, but you always remind me. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace. I'm so forgetful, but you always remind me. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace. So I come, Lord, I come, I come, Lord, I come to tell you I love you, to tell you I need you, to tell you there's no better place for me than in your arms, to tell you I'm sorry for running in circles, for placing my focus on the waves, not on your face. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace. I'm so forgetful, but you always remind me. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace. So I come, Lord, I come, I come, Lord, I come to tell you I love you, to tell you I need you, to tell you there's no better place for me than in your arms, to tell you I'm sorry for running in circles, for placing my focus on the waves, not on your face. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace in the storm. In the storm. I'm so forgetful, but you always remind me. You're the only one who brings me peace. You're the only one who brings me peace.
Good morning, Rooted Men. My name is Steve Giroux. I'm one of the elders, and I'm covering for Tom today because he skipped out. No, I think he's at a pastor's conference. Before I start, I wanted to tell you a little story. A few years ago, Tom had asked us to go out, be a part of the community, do things, and let them see that we're different, but we're not bad. Yesterday, I got a chance to work at the Scarecrow Festival, twisting balloons. It all started because a few years ago, I called the DDA director and said, do you mind if I just come in the park and sit and twist balloons? And they said, yes, come. And so I sat out in the park and I twist balloons for the kids, and I wear my Firmly Rooted shirt. And over the last couple of years, they've replaced the DDA director, and the new girl comes in and she's awesome. And now whenever she's like recruiting me, and I love that she feels comfortable enough just to ask. And now we're a part of those things. I didn't wear my shirt yesterday because I was dressed up as a scarecrow. Because the only thing I like better than wearing my Firmly Rooted shirt is dressing up in costumes. It's what do you do, right? We have the opportunity to change the air in the neighborhood. We have an opportunity to be different, yet good. Which is kind of funny, because that's part of today's messages. I'll be doing the 8:30 message as well as the 8 o'clock and prayer. So let's get started. Ready? I see we have Chris Connolly, and who else is there? I saw more. Ken Gooch. DJ my wife, she's heckling me this morning. Usually she's sound asleep. Bert Reggiani, glad to have you with us. And I'm sure more. Oh, Brian Vlaming. Welcome, Brian. Guys, today's message is from 1 Peter 3, verse 18. I'm going to read through it real quick. Oh, wait, I have it. I can change it so we can all see it together. Smart. For Christ died for sins once for all, the righteous for the unrighteous, to bring you to God. He was put to death in the body, but made alive in the spirit. Yeah, there's not a lot there, is there? That's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. How do I talk about that for 10 minutes? Prior to this verse in 1 Peter 3, Peter's telling us that we should do good. And for a lot of us, we look at it and go, ooh, what does that mean? Good morning, Ed. Nice to see you with us. Outstanding job yesterday. What I saw of it, I had to sneak out early. I loved. And I appreciate it. You being patient with me for picking on you. I am sorry. That was out of line, but I'd probably do it again. So sorry in advance. So that I might not qualify for the doing good part. Prior to this verse, Peter's telling us that we should do good. And what does that mean? Well, in that early part, they probably covered it earlier this week, that he expects you to be compassionate and humble. I love how they put those two together. I wonder if there's a reason for that. I mean, compassion. We can be compassionate, but if we don't come across with humility, then we're losing something. Don't repay evil with evil. Turn the other cheek, I think Jesus said. Be sympathetic. People come to us or to church looking for healing and for hope. That's our job to make sure they get it. You should turn from evil. We all know what that means. And keep your tongue from evil. That one's on me. We have a tendency to be sharp with our tongue when things hit us wrong or just don't come across like we'd like them to do. And then we seek peace. It's so hard when you're angry or you're upset to seek the peaceful resolution. So let's go through this verse. I'm going to break it into, I saw at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. He suffered once for all. I love that. He didn't suffer for the sinless, not for those who lived before Jesus or those that lived after Jesus. All. He suffered from the beginning of time to the end of time for everybody. Then it says the righteous for the unrighteous. And of course, we know Jesus was sinless, the perfect lamb. Romans 5:8 tells us that God demonstrates his own love for us while we were still sinners. So we've seen the righteous in Jesus, and the righteous, unrighteous, or the righteous is Jesus, and the unrighteous we see now might be us.
Yes.
Luke 5:32, I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners. Also, it's just the people that are sinners that he's calling. He's not calling normal people that are good. There's always another verse that changes that meaning. Because in that Matthew 26, Jesus is talking about the rich man who wanted to join him. And Jesus said, you must keep all the commandments. And the guy says, I've done this since I was a child. And he says, then take everything you have and give it to the poor. And the guy walked away sad because he had great wealth. This guy followed the law in his heart perfectly. He believed he had done everything. The Pharisees, they believed they were perfect in God's eyes. They believed that. Yet, there was something keeping them from God. And I think Jesus says it in Matthew 19:26. Jesus looked at him and said, with man, it is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. It was a precursor to let us know that there was one God and one Son. And when that Son died for us, he died for the unrighteous. And the next part says to bring you to God. He didn't do this to punish us or condemn us. He took his Son, the perfect lamb, sacrificed him. It seems so illogical to normal people when they hear this the first time. Is you go, why would God do that? Here's this perfect child, this guy that's grown to a man who's filled with love and wisdom, and he sacrifices him for a bunch of sinners. It's either, I wouldn't even say it's either. It's just such an example of how God loves. I mean, he created us knowing our flaws and our weaknesses, and yet he's still willing to pursue us down to the very last of that minute. Those things they have to be humbling to know that no matter how unqualified we are or how qualified we think we are, which might be another way of unqualifying you, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
For sure.
he did it all to bring us to him. That one little sentence in that verse, that one little blurb isn't even a sentence, it's just a comma. It says it all. And then the last little part says, he was put to death in the body, but made alive in the spirit. The thing with this is God took something terrible and made something beautiful. The religious leaders thought they'd have eliminated their problems. They got rid of it. He's gone. No more problems. We don't have to deal with him anymore. What they did is they made him more powerful than ever. They gave him a voice for 2,000 years and going and continuing and continuing. They've given him position at the right hand of the Father, by fulfilling the prophecies. I pray that from here on out, we will do good. But I also know that that's not all. We still need Jesus. We don't have to worry about it because he did all the work. We just have to accept the grace. That's the message I have for you today. Hope it was a blessing. Sometimes it's not easy taking one little verse and making a Bible study. I got to be honest with you. I struggled with this one a little bit. I pray that everybody's okay. Pastor G, good morning. It's nice to see you here. Do we have anybody else that came on? Let me double check real quick. Ed was the last one I got. Okay. So thank you. And may someone see Jesus in you today. God bless. Peace.